And our referee, none other than the best in the business, Big John McCarthy.
Heavyweight championship. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Here we go. Heavyweight title fight. Couture and Rizzo. A second chance for Pedro Rizzo to try to reign supreme in the heavyweight division. He eats a left quickly from Randy Couture. Couture, the Greco-Roman wrestler, wants to clinch, wants to close the quarters and get away from the hands and the feet and the knees of Pedro Rizzo.
He doesn't want to get caught coming in on a rush either, so it'll be interesting to see how cerebral he'll be with setups.
And he's good setups for this because he just cannot take the damage from Pedro. Pedro punches way too hard and kicks way too hard.
The one thing Pedro knows he must do here tonight is initiate, as he was unable to do that in his title fight against Kevin Randleman, and he went down to defeat that night. Ironically, it was Randleman recently defeated by Couture when Couture won the belt again.
Well, Couture's really good at this clinch game.
He's great at the clinch game, and he's trying to get him against the fence and give Pedro credit. He knows that's the tactic, and he keeps circling to the center.
It'll be interesting to see who starts striking out of this position first. Oh,
Pedro
there it
did.
is.
Greco-Roman wrestling all the way to the Greek Olympics.
Goes
Great
back
history of combat, and you want to talk about a throwback, that is Randy Couture, but he has new toys to go with his throwback skills.
You know, when they're binding like that and they start to chase one another, watch for a knee to come up awful quick too.
And sharp technique there by Couture to knee Rizzo right in the thigh. Just short, sharp. Those are the little shots that 20 minutes in, you really plague you.
Watch a knee, 2 hands on the head here. Watch for a knee.
Again, 5 minute rounds scheduled here in this title fight. Some uppercuts. The one thing I asked Randy Couture about were the knees of Pedro Rizzo when he had his opponent in the clinch, and he said, I'm not seeing Pedro use the knees as much as one would anticipate he could and would. So he is concerned, but he has yet to see Pedro be truly effective with the knees in close quarters.
I really think that's how Pedro's going to solve this riddle.
Right.
Of the clinch, is to come up with that knee and break them hands open for fear that Couture will take more shot.
There's the knee.
Nice knee.
There's the knee.
Good. That softened him. I tell you, them knees, especially when you're coming forward, really take you.
Jammed into the fence by Randy Couture. And now he's trying for some ground and pound in the half guard of Pedro Rizzo, but using the leverage of having his opponent against the fencing. If Couture gets that full mount, it is dangerous.
Dangerous.
And he's good in there. He's got good balance so he can keep his punching stance.
He's overwhelming right now. Pedro trying to get him into the guard. He has done so. And now he closes it.
Couture with that shoulder punch.
They're using shoulders.
Who taught him all this stuff?
I think he taught himself most of it, buddy.
The sport keeps evolving,
It sure
Frank.
does. That's very impressive to see a technique like that come out.
Up to the feet it comes, back down with a big hammer from the natural Randy Couture. Rizzo in front of his own corner and his mentor Marco Ruas. The last Brazilian champion that we have seen in the UFC back in '95.
Good
Couture with the forearms.
Really working Pedro Rizzo. And he's open Pedro Rizzo. Cut on the nose.
It looks like he's cut on his head as well as the bridge of that nose.
And that's been one knock against Pedro Rizzo is he seems to cut.
Oh, he's got a deep cut on his head. It's coming down.
Oh, Couture overwhelming. He has it into his world right now.
Everything's short.
And still 60 seconds remains in round one. Couture's trying to finish him. McCarthy's right in there, making sure Rizzo can intelligently defend himself. Rizzo taking tons of punishment here. Couture with rights and more rights. And he finishes another one. Combinations on Rizzo. Rizzo trying to work through this flurry of punches by Randy Couture. Left, left, and another left.
He does need to do something.
He's got to do something offensive. They're going to pull this fight from him. He's got to get his legs in there, kick him back. He's got to get space.
McCarthy's right there, making sure that the fighter's safety is of the utmost concern and importance to the mixed martial arts world.
It's like they're both taking a breather now.
He did. He wiped his face. He had
They're
time
both
to
taking
breathe.
a little breather, looking at the situation.
Well, you got to how much energy is Couture losing here by punching. He's obviously scoring.
But he's
5
also
seconds.
doing damage.
Big time damage, guys. Big time damage.
Oh,
and he finishes
big
with
right
a big
hand.
one. Wow, what great heart shown by Pedro Rizzo. Wow. Second round set to begin. Online scoring at UFC.tv. Be part interactively of this heavyweight title fight here tonight. Mike Goldberg, Jeff Blatnick, Frank Shamrock.
Did I see 22 under Pedro Rizzo? 78-22. Pedro, it's hard to believe he could have won that round.
I got faith in him.
Now that's his fans, and he certainly deserves great fans. He's a terrific. Oh, what a leg!
Power
And he
kick.
got him good.
He got him, hurt him.
Got him big time, right in the ribs, because Randy tried to shoot right back up from the mat and couldn't do so.
Oh, yeah.
The suddenness of a world-class striker, the most dangerous striker in the heavyweight division, felt right there by the champion Randy Couture.
And you've got to wonder here, why is Rizzo starting to slow down? Why isn't he trying to use this position? He hurt Couture, but he's not following up.
Pedro Rizzo, a young man who cried in the shower for hours at age 18 when he first suffered defeat in the fight
Rizzo's
world.
game.
And now he's back on his feet, trying to win for his country, trying to win for his hero, Marco Ruas. And man, did he withstand some punishment in round number 1. Round number 2 just underway.
I'll tell you, that was one effective kick. It seems to have changed Randy Couture's attitude there totally.
Oh, it did. And that'd take a lot out of you, have all your weight on that leg, doing some sort of forward movement. Oh!
There's the kick. So far, second round, Pedro's game. Uppercut, combination, and Couture is stunned. Pedro with the left. Now his confidence skyrocketing. Just missed with that one. Combinations again have Couture frustrated. Is tonight payback to Marco Ruas for bringing in a young man who had not enough money to pay for his lessons.
Now Rizzo, now we've seen this a couple times tonight where first round's totally opposite of the second. Couture stayed down there an awful long time. Whoa.
Combination again. And there it is, like the Shoney Carter fight we saw earlier tonight. The one shot that Rizzo got in to begin the second round gets between the ears of Randy Couture, gets into his mind and makes him hesitate on his game a bit. And that kick is not his game.
No,
I think Randy,
you saw how sloppy that was.
I wonder if Randy punched himself out in the first round, because it seems now he doesn't have anything left. He's breathing through an open mouth.
He does, and his attempts at that double or that single show that he's not working that clinch game anymore, which is his real strength.
We thought tonight, beginning of the night, could be top to bottom the best card ever and the best set of fights in UFC history. The turns of fate and the twists of momentum have been astonishing this evening.
Yes.
That's just an example of how this sport is. Anybody, anytime, with any move, can finish any fight.
That's why there's so much respect, Frank, between the competitors.
Oh, that was a big kick. That was a fight-changing kick right there. That was a huge kick.
Couture with the left and
again.
another combination. He's in trouble now. He's in big trouble now.
Oh!
If Rizzo connects, it could end here with still 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining.
Oh, the jab.
Couture has heart, but it seems that Rizzo's now in his world.
It's not looking good right here.
Rizzo, he must initiate. He must finish.
He's got to finish.
There's the left, the combination,
Couture's
and another
tired.
kick.
Couture is tired.
A decade of difference in age to the 37-year-old Randy Couture, the 27-year-old Pedro Rizzo.
Look at the
Left.
marks.
Oh, high kick. A high kick.
Right, look at the nose.
The nose is bleeding now.
His nose immediately bleeding.
Couture, can he close the gap? Does he have enough energy to shoot again, Jeff? To clinch again?
This is where age is going to hurt Randy Couture. He doesn't have the ability to recover as quick as a 20-year-old.
Ruas and the Rizzo corner are telling Pedro, stand up, stand up. Well, Pedro wants to catch his breath in this position, though, also.
Pedro's got this fight won.
There's a kick. There's a kick. It went towards the head.
And it's
so
a down
McCarthy
fighter.
comes in. A down fighter, you can kick his body, but not his head. And so that gives a mini break to Randy Couture.
Couture's all bloodied up there.
It just seems he's lost the snap in his legs.
There's an
He's
uppercut.
lost it. There's the knee. Here comes the knee.
Another uppercut by Couture, but Rizzo
You saw Couture look over at the clock.
able to move
tired.
away.
They're both tired.
No damage done there by Couture on Pedro Rizzo.
Oh.
Down goes Couture. 5 seconds in the round. McCarthy's right
Can he
there.
make it?
5 seconds now.
Can he make
The
it?
horn will sound. And Couture takes all the punishment here in round number 2. They are on their feet here in Atlantic City.
This place is going crazy.
Can Randy Couture get his energy back to go into his game here in round number 3? Round 1 to Couture, round 2 to Rizzo decisively. Jeff, you're the wrestler at heart, so is Randy Couture. What does the champion do here?
I think the champion wants to get Rizzo down on his back.
How can he do it?
He's going to have to, I would be suckering Pedro into throwing a right hand, trying to take the double out from underneath him. That or get him near the fence, just circling naturally with punches. Don't do it just from the clinch. Try to circle him near the fence, bull rush him, get him up against the fence. Then that's more Couture's world in the clinch. But Pedro's done a good job right from the onset of trying to keep his backside towards the middle of the octagon.
Good uppercuts there by Randy Couture to open up round number 3. And there's the shoot.
Nice sprawl.
But good takedown defense by Pedro Rizzo.
Really good takedown. And you see him get his hands inside. He got the underhook. He wasn't going down.
Now you got to remember, Couture's not a freestyle wrestler. He doesn't practice as much doing leg shots. He's got the ability to do a running double, but it's not going to be as proficient as one of the great freestylers like a Mark Jackson, who somewhat took you down, though you had an arm bar carrying him down the whole way too. But that's the kind of thing that you do so well, is you have to have that ability to take a man down or at least set him up so you have a fighting chance of it. Straight on shots, tough to make work.
Don't forget, Rizzo can also submit his opponent, although he doesn't appear to be very interested in going that direction right here. I think he wants to end it and end it with an explanation point. Timeout called by John McCarthy to attend to Randy Couture. Now this is what did the damage.
Oh, that's the kick to the head. Nice. You see him punch himself right in the nose. That's where the blood started.
And there on the ground, the kick into the arm. It didn't hit the head, so it is legal.
One undefeated champion has already gone down to defeat for the first time in
Oh, he's going to get him.
UFC
He's
career.
gone down.
Couture trying to avoid the same fate.
This fight has been fantastic. Back and forth they go. Let's see if Randy Couture now in round 3 can get back to his offense.
Who withstood more damage? Was it Rizzo in round 1 or was it Couture in round 2?
That's a tough one to call. They're both really putting it out there.
Let me ask you this, Frank. If you're more fatigued, does it hurt worse?
Not that it hurts worse. It's just that your mind thinks it does.
Yes.
It doesn't actually hurt any more or less. It's just that your brain goes, wait, I'm really tired, and now it hurts.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
You know it.
And I thought Randy was seemingly very fatigued in that second round. I thought maybe he might have punched himself out in round 1, smelling Rizzo's blood, thinking, hey, I can end this now.
Yeah.
But it may have cost him in round 2. He just didn't have any juice. But now, using good tactic, getting the takedown finally, can he operate here with any kind of energy?
I think that's a great question because we have not seen him go into the ground and pound, try to really pass the guard yet of Pedro Rizzo here. As he was able to do so, it seemed with some relative ease in the round number 1 when he had more in the tank.
He didn't really try to pass Rizzo's guard. He just has those nice, short, choppy blows. and if he can get those in, he doesn't care where he is.
It's not a pass, it's a charge, right?
Yeah.
It's just go ahead and get those small shots in, and I think that's all you're going to see him attempt here. I'm surprised he's up on his legs burning energy. I thought he'd stay down on his knees and just work from that position, try to get some of the air back, and if he does, maybe then he feels he has the punching power to put a flurry in.
Come on, let's go.
This show has been spectacular. Rizzo trying to become the new champion in the heavyweight division. This round's been somewhat even with now 48 seconds remaining.
No clear winner in this round. I think both the guys are just trying to catch their air. The Pedro started to do something interesting. He's actually starting to strike from the bottom a little bit, which he hasn't done throughout this show. And I think that's been hurting him when he's been on the bottom.
Rizzo has fought wrestlers and been victorious before. Mark the Hammer Coleman won a split decision over the former UFC World Heavyweight Champion back at UFC 18. Lost, of course, to Kevin Randleman.
Yeah, I think Randy's arms are really burnt. He pulls up like he wants to punch, and then he puts them back down, puts his chest back down. I believe those are signs of fatigue.
Those are small signs of fatigue.
There was a good left hand by Randy. Now covering the mouth. They're all learning that little Frank trick.
Are you ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
We are in championship territory here. 4th and 5th rounds. Separates the man from the rest.
It sure does, doesn't it? That extra 2 rounds.
Forget the imitations. This is truly the most intense hand-to-hand combat in the world today. The world of mixed martial arts, full of respect, regard, and high energy. There's a left that connected
left
to Couture.
hook.
Couture still trying to close in
nice.
and work the uppercuts.
Wow, look at them uppercuts.
The uppercuts are good. They've been
Very
effective.
good. And they're perfect for his style. He just adapted Greco-Roman right into punching.
A sport still largely misunderstood in the U.S. by many. So much camaraderie and respect amongst these fighters, and I'll tell you what, these two competitors respect each other.
Is Rizzo accepting the clinch position here?
It looks like he is.
I'm wondering, why doesn't he back up towards the center? And he's not.
That could prove to be a huge mistake. This is not where his world is.
Remember the hesitation and the almost state of falling asleep that Rizzo has fallen into in the past, especially in the Kevin Randleman fight. That has been one of the knocks on Pedro Rizzo. And that is why Marco Ruas tells him, you must initiate. Is he stopping the initiation here in this round, guys?
Trading.
Couture now is the aggressor.
But he's moving forward a lot here. This is what Rizzo likes, is a guy that moves forward.
Nice, pushing the head down, running out.
That's right, single leg, that's exactly what you want to do. Keep the man's head down.
Randy comes right after him. He takes the center of the ring.
There he goes, he's not chasing now, he's thinking again.
Jeff, you think that Pedro likes it more when guys come at him. He likes the counter.
Every time I've seen somebody knocked out, they were charging Pedro Rizzo. So yes, I think he's capable of knocking out straight standing, but he really enjoys getting a fighter to come at him, and he's good at doing it. He'll step in, he'll throw a punch, he'll sit still, and then he'll kind of take a step back, and it induces you to take that one step to follow him. And he's been very good with people, but it seemed that Randy got him to settle for clinch as well. So I think once you get that heart rate up around 185, 200, your mind starts telling you some crazy things.
I think as well, Pedro Rizzo at heart, he's a pro kickboxer. Really is.
Yep.
And in pro kickboxing, you have that timing, you have that rhythm that you have to kind of follow. And I wonder if he gets trapped in that, as he gets tired, that he falls into that world.
And let's ask a question. Look at Randy Couture's left leg. Yeah. When's the last time Pedro, well, there it was.
There we go.
I was wondering when that was going to come back. Oh, Couture's going to get it.
Not a good spot.
Side mount. Can he?
Got 2 minutes.
Can he get to the ground and pound though? Can he work on Rizzo with the same frenetic pace that he worked on him in the first round here?
Well, he's got a lot of time. He doesn't need to have to go too hard yet. With 1:45, maybe take 15 seconds, see if you can improve your position, see what Rizzo will do if I move this way or that, then set up your flurry.
Keep in mind, if this fight goes the distance, then it renders a judge's decision. So it is not a situation where Couture has to finish his opponent. He just needs to control these later rounds.
They've each traded a round. I'm not sure if Rizzo may have gotten a dominant round in the second round, but they each traded a round. Third round, awful close.
Absolutely.
This round, awful close. Not sure who could win this. Up to the judges. But the one factor in round 3 and 4 is Couture had a takedown.
It's true.
And that may even or put him ahead of his striking.
Randy's wife, Tricia, here in attendance. She was a little ill. She had a sore stomach the first time she ever watched Randy fight in mixed martial arts. She's better now. I don't know how mom, Sharon Coronas, is handling this, though. His 2 children, Ryan, who placed 3rd in the state in wrestling in Oregon, and his daughter, Amy's 16 and a heck of a little submission wrestler and kickboxer herself. So fighting runs in the Couture family.
In the family.
You have to wonder now, late in the round, who can steal this round. Whoever's active now leaves the impression with the judges.
And so much on the line, guys, for Pedro Rizzo. We saw the up-close feature from James Wormy, shot in Brazil. And you know, a young kid who just wanted to be involved in the sport. And Marco Huas said, I know you don't have enough money, but come on in and train with me, and I'll try to turn you into a champion. And believe me, Pedro would like to get this for himself. He wants it equally, if not more so, for his country and for his hero, Marco Huas. 5th and final round. 5 minutes remains.
Rizzo's moving forward. Haven't seen this too much. It's really the first time in the fight. Rizzo was actually moving forward there. He's starting to press.
Now he's moving forward more, but he's moving his hands more. He's a little more relaxed, or bounce around a little bit. I think if he stuck that jab out there and baited Couture in, he could really hook him with one of them hooks or a knee.
Just hit Couture with a jab.
Yeah.
Missed with that one.
He needs to lead him in on them jabs. He needs to stick it out there and make it like a measuring stick and make him come around that.
Does Randy at this point almost feel like he's one takedown away from victory?
I don't know.
I'm not sure he feels that way at this point.
Not
I'm sure
quite
he'd
yet.
want to. Yes, I think he'd like to get to that stage. It's just this is the opportunity Rizzo's been waiting for. Nice.
Good
Complete
defense.
counter right there.
Yep, good defense.
That's got to be a little intimidating.
Combination. Randy's got to work through this right here with Rizzo trying to throw the punches and the kicks. This sport has evolved
Nice.
throughout the last few years so much, guys, but it's still right now almost coming down to striking against wrestling.
I saw Rizzo's hands on the hips. There's a sign that he's a little tired of carrying those hands. That might limit his punching prowess here in the fifth round.
He's breathing pretty good. His mouth's open pretty good.
That was a real arcing throw there by Randy. Not very straight, but I tell you, I thought he was gassed in the second period, and here he is in the second round. Here he is in the 5th.
Well, really
and he's in this fight.
Cover.
You know, these 3 minutes are going to tell who wins the fight, and he just can't get the penetration step he needs, and no follow-up from Rizzo. So he's got to be tired as well.
Pedro Rizzo started in martial arts at age 3.
I am amazed. Look at how hard they're both breathing. They are exhausted fighters.
2 minutes, 45 seconds remains.
I mean, I've had my arms rubbery in a wrestling match, but I've never had to hold them up to protect my head the whole time as well. It's just amazing the kind of effort that these fighters put out. It is why I respect this sport so much.
It's also amazing the quality of athlete we get in here, who's willing to adapt himself to these rules and these styles.
All right, we're down to 220. Nothing has really moved since the shot from Couture, and now Rizzo getting active with some punches.
The heart displayed by these fighters here tonight should have ended in round 1, could have ended in round 1, with Couture being victorious. Should have, could have, but did not end in round 2 when Rizzo overwhelmed the champion.
Well, if I was a judge and this fight finished like this, I'd be looking at the guy on top to be called the winner. Oh, there we go.
They're back on their feet. 1:45 remains. There is no time but the presence now for the striker Rizzo. He's on his feet. Now maybe we're to that one last takedown.
Yeah, he's got to go. Rizzo's really got to throw him. He's got to bait him in and try and land on him.
Can Randy be baited in, though? 1:25 on the clock.
Well, Rizzo always talks about how he always throws power punches, but
Right.
I think it's limiting him here. He's got no measuring stick. He's got no way to lead him in.
Couture can't shoot, though.
Punch, punch, kick. That's Pedro right now. Punch, punch, kick.
He should be throwing
Should be. Punch, punch,
combinations.
kick.
He could win this round, and with the other ones being so close, this could be the fight.
Final minute of this heavyweight title
This will
fight.
decide the
This
fight
minute
right here.
decides the fight.
And believe me, both those men inside the octagon know. The crowd starting to react to this final minute of competition.
big kick right there.
Couture follows with a kick of his own.
40 seconds on the clock.
Who will leave the last impression?
The man who does could very well leave with the belt. Couture
30 seconds.
closes in.
37-year-old Randy Couture.
Rizzo got him there.
If he stays in this kind of range, doesn't try to circle, get outside the arm, get him near the fence. This is Rizzo's game. I don't know what Randy can do here except try to trade punches with a better puncher.
There's a shot. He goes down. 5 seconds left. 4, 3. Rizzo finishing with the flurry.
Oh, my God.
It's all over.
Wow.
Time has expired. The judges will render a decision. And this jam-packed Trump Taj Mahal is electric in anticipation of who may win this heavyweight bout. This is
Nice
how it
replay.
ended.
Good kick. Rizzo into Couture's left leg. Put him down. That's the second time in the fight that that's happened. And here Rizzo trying to find the range with the fist. Randy's arm's in the way. He tries to go to a clinch, but Rizzo gets the last bit of action.
We go to the judges' cards for decision. All 3 judges scored a unanimous win for the winner. And still, UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the natural champion.